Hi there, it's Bruce Penson from ProDrive here, and today I'm going to talk about some of the changes coming up in the Microsoft 365 licensing scheme. So let's go into what's happening here. So essentially, Microsoft are putting up the prices of their Microsoft 365 licenses. Let's go into a little bit more detail on that. So the first thing is there's going to be a price increase on the core Microsoft 365 licenses. That's the likes of Microsoft 365 Business Premium, which many of you may be buying already. There's going to be a further increase of 20% on all the licenses in the scheme. So that includes things like Visio, Online, Project Online, Power BI, anything that's bought on the current monthly licensing scheme. If you want to continue buying those on a pay-as-you-go monthly license, there's going to be a 20% increase on top of the current pricing. So you are going to have the option of keeping prices at the current level, with the exception, that is, of the core Microsoft 365 licensing, if you purchase the licenses annually. So why is this happening? Well, firstly, I think it's fair to say that Microsoft have never increased the price of these core Microsoft 365 products since launch, and they've been around a long time now. And in that period of time as well, a lot of new features have been added to those products. So lots and lots of new security features, for instance. And additionally, there's been new applications added as well. So what the suite was that Microsoft launched has now morphed into something much bigger than that. So Microsoft do feel justified in putting these increases in, whatever, unfortunately, the rest of us may feel. So a brief timeline of the changes that are coming up. As of now, you can purchase licenses on the new pricing scheme. The price increase in those core Microsoft 365 products, which I'll go into a little more in a minute, takes place on the 1st of March 2022. And as of the 1st of July 2022, all licenses must be on the new scheme. So the scheme you're purchasing on right now will no longer be valid then. So let's first talk about the products, the core Microsoft 365 products, where there's an increase in the price. So this isn't related to the premium for buying monthly. This is an actual monthly price increase. We've got the Microsoft 365 business products there. These are the two products with the cloud services in. Unfortunately, we don't yet have the price increase for Business Basic, but Business Premium, as you can see, has gone from £15.10. If you want to buy that on a monthly basis going forwards, that's going to be £19.92 per month. However, you will be able to buy it annually, and that gives you a 20% discount versus the pay monthly price. And this applies to 365 E3 and the E1 to E5 Office 365 products as well. However, there is some elements of good news in this. Not a lot, I accept, but there's a few. And the first part is that you can lock in current pricing for 12 months if you purchase your licenses in full before the end of February 2022. So the rate you're paying now, the monthly rate you're paying now, you'll be able to pay that for 12 months worth of licensing if you fix in before the end of February 2022. Additionally, for those of you using Teams audio conferencing, that's where you get a telephone number that someone can dial into one of your Teams meetings. That's actually going to be included within the 365 Business Premium product, so you won't need to purchase that anymore. So what I've done here is a little illustration on these slides of what those prices might look like depending on when you fixed in your purchase. So let's talk about how you're going to purchase licenses going forward. So month-by-month licensing is still an option. So the process will continue much as it does now, except you're going to pay a 20% higher price on the majority of products. On the core Microsoft 365 products, you'll pay that initial increase plus a further 20%. For annual licensing, you'll set a baseline of licenses for the year. So this is, as a business, the minimum number of licenses you believe you're going to need for the next 12-month period. You then make that purchase for 12 months. And those licenses are locked to that price, obviously, because you're paying for 12 months. But additionally, if you purchase more licenses, so say you purchase 50 licenses because that's what you wanted for the year, you decide that actually you're going to be hiring an extra 20 people because you're expanding, and that's going to be an ongoing thing, and you purchase those licenses after 6 months. Those licenses will be at the same prorated rate as your initial 12-month purchase, and they'll co-term with that initial 12 months as licensing. So effectively, you'll get another 6 months at your locked-in rate. You can additionally purchase month-by-month licenses alongside annual licenses. So the kind of situation you might want to do this in is, you might say, let's say you've got a baseline of 20 licenses throughout the year, but you know you have a busy period in the summer where you often hire some temps. You hire, I don't know, 5 temps for 2 months. It's pointless buying licenses for them for the year. So you'd have your annual licenses for your 20 staff that you have throughout the year, and then you'd get 5 month-by-month licenses for your temps and keep those for 2 months and then remove them again. So some important notes about annual licensing. So annual licensing is obviously something new because all licenses are purchased monthly at the moment. So the annual license, it's paid for annually in one payment, and the license terms will start on the first day of a month. So if you want to get those rates, those current rates you're buying at the moment, you need to get that annual purchase in before the end of February. And I should say ProDrive does require cleared funds before the license commitment date. So these licenses are non-transferable and non-refundable. So why is that important? So if, for instance, you merge with another business or acquired by one, they have an Office 365 tenancy, you have your own Office 365 tenancy, and you want to merge those two together, you're not going to be able to merge the licenses together. You'll need to purchase new licenses on one of those tenancies in order to do that. So just something to think about before you go for an annual commitment. If you think something like that, that kind of event might be on the horizon. Also, if you have a dramatic drop in staff numbers, your business changes, or you lose a large client, or whatever it might be, there's unfortunately no refund on licenses you paid for, even if you don't need them anymore. Now, I should say that you might find some resellers offering annual contracts where you commit annually but pay monthly. ProDrive's not offering this, as unfortunately Microsoft have placed all the liability on the reseller for such a contract. So all the liability would be on ProDrive, and there's no protection should, for instance, one of our clients go into administration, they'd be unable to pay, or you know, they get acquired by another organization. As a small business, unfortunately, we can't accept that risk. So we're only offering the annual contracts on a pay annually basis. If you do decide to purchase licenses from another company, we will unfortunately have to put an administrative levy on the user management fees. It's just that if licenses are purchased from someone else other than ProDrive, when we get support requests, we need to escalate to Microsoft. The whole process becomes incredibly complex. So just wanted to point that out. What should you be doing then? So really, to protect your prices that you're paying at the moment, you need to lock in those prices before the end of February 2022. So ProDrive will be in contact with you about doing that. How that will look is we'll do you a quote for those licenses that we agree that you want to purchase for the 12-month period. You can sign off on that and transfer the money to ProDrive. We'll send you an invoice for it, and then we'll get your licenses locked in. In 12 months' time, we'll then contact you, well, probably about a month before the renewal date, to talk about what you want to do for the next 12-month period, and that cycle will continue. If you do have some dramatic changes in your business halfway through, say, a 12-month term, let's say you have 100 staff, you want to hire another set of staff, but it's only going to be, say, for a 1-year contract, you could take out a second 1-year term to run between different dates from your original 1-year term. We don't anticipate that being something that many businesses want to do, but there might be cases where you do that. Aside for that, if you're hiring people on a sort of temporary basis and you want to just use the month-by-month contracts for them rather than adding them to your 12-month term, you just need to let us know. So we'll be providing a question in new user forms that we provide to you guys to enable you to indicate that that's the case, and then we'll make those appropriate adjustments for you. With month-by-month licenses, we're not going to send you quotes in order to sign those off, because they're going to be quite flexible. So the prices will be advertised by Microsoft, but we'll let you know anyway, and you can switch those on and switch them off as you need to do so. So I think that covers the briefing that I was going to give. If there are any questions, please speak to me. Please contact us via the normal channels or contact the service desk, and we'll do our very best to answer them and clarify them for you. Thank you very much.